All strange and terrible events are welcome, but comforts we despise.
She was the queen who seduced the world's greatest powers. But Cleopatra's true story isn't just about love. It's a tale of strategy, betrayal, and a woman who defied an empire. What secrets did the last Pharaoh of Egypt take to her grave? When you think of Cleopatra, you might picture the seductress who brought Julius Caesar and Mark Antony to their knees. But what if I told you her greatest weapon wasn't her beauty, but her mind? Cleopatra was a ruler who played the most dangerous game of her time, a game of love and power, and nearly won. In this video, we'll uncover her epic story, the strategic romances that shook the ancient world, and the tragic end that changed history forever. Stay until the end to discover why her story is more relevant today than ever before. Before she ruled an empire or captivated the world, Cleopatra was a young woman fighting for survival. Here's how her journey began. Born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a family riddled with betrayal and intrigue, she fought tooth and nail for her crown. At just 18 years old, she became co-ruler of Egypt alongside her brother. But their partnership quickly turned sour. Imagine this, a teenage girl exiled by her own family, stranded in the desert, yet determined to reclaim her birthright. Cleopatra wasn't just clever, she was ruthless when she needed to be. With nothing to lose, she formed an alliance with the most powerful man in the world, Julius Caesar. Cleopatra's rise wasn't an accident, it was a masterclass in strategy. Her alliance with Caesar wasn't just about love, it was about survival and securing her throne. But why did Caesar risk everything for Cleopatra? The answer lies in a bond that was as political as it was personal. When Cleopatra first met Caesar, it wasn't in a royal court, it was in secret. Legend has it, she had herself smuggled into his chambers, rolled in a carpet. This dramatic entrance wasn't just theatrical, it was calculated. She needed Caesar's support, and she knew how to make an impression. But this wasn't a one-sided affair. Caesar saw in Cleopatra a partner who could secure his ambitions in the East. Together, they restored Cleopatra to power, and their alliance produced a son, Caesarion, the heir Cleopatra believed would unite Rome and Egypt. Cleopatra's love for Caesar wasn't just romantic. It was a partnership built on mutual ambition. Together, they dreamed of creating an empire that spanned continents. However, these good days didn't last long for Cleopatra. On March 15, 44 BC, Caesar was stabbed to death in the Senate chamber, his demise marking a pivotal moment in Roman history. Caesar's death plunged Rome into further civil wars. When Caesar fell, Cleopatra didn't crumble. Instead, she forged a new alliance, one that would lead to the greatest love story of her life. After Caesar's assassination, Cleopatra faced a Roman world in chaos. Her solution? Mark Antony, Caesar's most trusted general. Their first meeting was legendary. Cleopatra, ever the showwoman, arrived on a golden barge adorned like the goddess Aphrodite. Antony was mesmerized, not just by her beauty, but by her charisma and intellect. Their love was passionate, scandalous, and politically explosive. Together, they built an alliance to rival Rome itself. But as their power grew, so did their enemies. Rome declared war, branding Cleopatra as a seductress who corrupted Antony. In the Battle of Actium, their forces were defeated, and their dream of a united empire began to crumble. Cleopatra and Antony's love wasn't just a romance. It was a rebellion against Rome's dominance. Their passion was both their greatest strength and their ultimate undoing. But Cleopatra's final act wasn't one of defeat. It was a moment of defiance that secured her place in history. As Octavian's armies closed in, Cleopatra refused to be paraded through Rome as a trophy. Instead, she staged her own death, ensuring she would be remembered on her own terms. The image of Cleopatra lying in her tomb, dressed as a queen, with an asp delivering the fatal bite, is etched into history. But was it really suicide or something more? Some say it was a final act of rebellion, denying her enemies their victory. With her death, Egypt fell to Rome, and the era of the pharaohs ended. Yet Cleopatra's legacy endured. Cleopatra's fall wasn't just the end of a queen. It was the beginning of a legend. Her story has inspired countless tales of power, ambition, and love. Cleopatra wasn't just a queen. She was a visionary, a strategist, and a woman who dared to challenge the world's greatest powers. Her story reminds us that love and power often go hand in hand, but they come at a cost. So the next time someone mentions Cleopatra, remember, she wasn't just a seductress. She was a force of nature. Want to uncover the lover of Cleopatra, Julius Caesar? Click here to watch how he betrayed country's freedom to become near emperor himself.